Welcome to my studio, aka my kitchen. So I've been working on this trooper painting this morning, and I've also been crossing over doing little bits on some other pieces that I'm working on, which you can see there, all the mass of mess. Anyway, so I'm just about to work on this cool rifle, and I've got to mix up some grey values, and I thought, what better? Might as well video it and show you guys how I do it. So let's get to it. Okay, so let's get into mixing up this grayscale. Now, for those of you that don't know what a grayscale is, I've pulled this out. Basically, what a grayscale is you're going to be mixing up different values from dark all the way down to light. Now, I don't need to knock up 10 values today, not for the rifle. I probably only need to mix up, realistically, probably 4 or 5. And to be honest with you, I'm too lazy and I really can't be asked to mix up 10. But stop the press. You're going to get a good idea of how to mix yourself a good grayscale. Now, this isn't brand specific. Tip out or squeeze out, depending on what paint you're going to mix, because this will work exactly the same with acrylics. These are oil paints that I'm using today. And as I say, it's not brand specific, but this black is from Winsor & Newton, and the other paints are Old Holland. Now, the black, I don't really like using straight black. So what I like to do is I squeeze myself out a little bit of burnt umber, and just to sort of warm up and just to make the black look a little bit, I don't know, it just makes it look nicer than just flat black. And I'll probably use about 10% of the burnt umber in with the black. So let's do that first of all. We've got our black there, and we're probably just going to take, there you go, probably about 10% off that pile. And what we're going to do is we're going to work that into the black like that. Make sure you really mix it in, squash it right down. Work that raw umber, burnt umber into that black. And like, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but you can just see there, just gives it, I don't know, just makes it look nicer to me. Plus burnt umber just smells great. All right, so I've got myself a nice pile. Just gonna wipe that off. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a small amount, about that. And I'm going to take myself probably about, I don't know, 10% white. Don't go mad on the first one. And what we're looking at doing is obviously having a lighter value than straight black. So again, I took about 10% white. We're just going to squish that down, mix it all together. And there we have that value, okay? And hopefully the camera's picking it up. We'll take some of the straight black, put that next to it like that, so that you can hopefully see the difference. So next up, take another little bit of black. This time obviously it was less. In fact, I'll probably just take a little bit less than that. And this time we're probably going to take about maybe 30% of the white, and we're going to mix that in just like that. Now, because we used the burnt umber in with the black, this grey's got a nice sort of warm feel and look to it. Some people might sometimes mix blue into the black, which makes it a slightly colder black. But for me, I like to use that burnt umber. So carry on mixing it, just make sure all that white is mixed in. And now you can see we've got ourselves the next value. Give that a little bit of a wipe on the tissue. Take another little bit of black, and this time maybe we'll take about 50%, give it a little mix. Now, hopefully again the camera can see this, but it's lighter, but I'd like it to be a little bit lighter. So I'm going to just take another little bit. Now, when you practice this, you're trying to look for a good step down from first your black. You can then see that you've still got a nice dark, but it's not as dark as the black. We then step down again, and now we're obviously looking for a lighter value. Now, like I say, I don't need to do 10. I'm only working on the rifle, and there's probably only, like I say, maybe 4 or 5 plus of white. Now that is a nice step down from the last one, which we can nicely see. And this time, literally just squishing off the remainders of that one. And I'm probably going to take, I don't know about that much, whatever that is. What is it, 50%, 60%? Let's have a little look. Mix it all together. Look at that. Lovely. There you go. That's probably all I'm going to need. So that's how I mix my values, my grayscale, however you want to word it, and that is that. And as you can see, I've used that grayscale palette that I mixed up earlier, and here's what the rifle looks like after its second layer. So I'll let that dry for a couple of days, and then I'll go over with a third layer, tidy it all up and blend it in a little bit better. And that's it really, you just build it up by layer by layer.